Hello and welcome to another video. So today we're taking a look at a dirt rune deck. This one is a lot more dirt rune than it is any kind of burn and has some interesting cards in it, so I thought why not give it a quick look over. So this one is running a double, which is called Double Starseer's Telescope. The reason they cut back on some of these cards here, as you can probably tell, is to fit in some other more interesting cards. So we are running double Goblin Princess and probably the awesomest card in this entire deck, only because I never really saw it played, and now that I haven't had a chance to use it, I actually really love how interesting it is and how it can shake up a turn. So unfortunately I don't think I got to use it like at all in my actual matchups, but having it there as the next threat onto lethal is always really interesting and really fun to play. So the Dancer of the Sun, I mean, Fanfare Enhanced 10, double all other allies attack and defense. You get this thing off with any kind of board, especially something like the Goblin Princess boards or even the Presser of Taboo boards, and they can be absolute nightmares to deal with. Things like Carrot really do help with that, and Magic Illusionist when they get buffed, and of course you're running basically the rest as pretty standard, and a single Mutagenic to deal with those problem decks. Also the Grand Summoning is great for going into that Dancer turn as well, and of course the double Bahamut, because clears are important these days and that's what you want. So hopefully you guys will enjoy it, and we'll get right into the video. Okay, first up is our Dragon matchup. I mean, Dragon, yeah, versus Rune is okay. Dirt Rune in particular does usually do fairly well. Aggro Dragon's an interesting one if you do come up against that though, because you do want to be more aggressive in that matchup, whereas Ramp you can be a little bit more standoffish and just hold your own ground. For this turn, we're starting off some good cards. Dwarven Alchemist into a turn 3 Magic Illusionist and Sigil are both pretty good. You can drop those pretty consistently. Also the fact that we have Consecration really helps us with our draw power, which could be lacking if we weren't careful. So our opponent doesn't make any major turn 1 or 2 plays, which is always good to see, and we actually get our Magic Illusionist to play off pretty much perfectly while getting in a couple of little bits of damage. Of course the Dragoon Cipher does kind of mess it up just a little bit. This Dragon obviously missing out on any decent ramp, which is a little unfortunate for them, but on the flip side, it's quite good for us. Now we can take advantage of the Consecration. We do have to sacrifice this Illusionist though, which I don't mind too much. Just because I'd rather take advantage of those Earth Sigils in the way we're taking advantage of them, instead of just using them to resummon the Illusionist overall.
Still no match for Mr. Dragon.
And of course Mr. Dragon coming down, I mean, he's a nightmare after all. Look at him, look at how terrifying he is. And Blazing Breath, just ruining everything I'd set up. But we've got Gingerbread for that, which is fine. Pretty instant removal, and we can actually set up pretty nicely with the Magic Illusionist on it, so it's not the worst possible play. It's just a pity we don't have more damage on them. Especially with that heal, really messing up our flow of our game. So we get the Grand Summoning, which honestly is pretty perfect. I love using Grand Summoning in this way. I decided to hold the Evolve because I know what to expect from Dragon in the big cards, so I was really worried about that. But most of all, I was worried about a Saha Israel, and seeing this Saha come down almost gave me nightmares. Luckily it only pulled Bahamut. Obviously them not having the Saha the Israfel was great for us. Otherwise they would have had a full board clear for basically free, which is crazy to think about. And it shows me that they do have a Bahamut to watch out for on 10, so if we're going to make any big move, it's got to be right now. So we can actually go for 8 damage, so take half the health already, and if we throw a mage to that as well, we can put them right within the range we want. But they go for the Sybil, which is an absolute nightmare. I mean, that's probably the second worst card we could have seen right now, right next to an actual Israfel. Because that 3 health is going to be really hard to deal with again, especially since now they get a full board clear on this too. Couldn't ask for a much better turn from them. But our Master Mage can clear this, especially with the Silent Laboratory. That's going to work out really well. It's just kind of a pain that turn 10 is going to be kind of lacking, and I can't really play Grand Summoning without instantly losing it to Bahamut, so it's a little sad there. But the Bahamut does come down here, clearing out these 2 things. which honestly is better because since they have played at least one Bahamut, I am pretty safe to play Grand Summoning. And I can actually abuse Oz now and use the Grand Summoning to my advantage, getting at least 5 things stacked to this board. Which means we only really need to stick one good follower to get what we need. So if Oz can stick, we win. If we can stick a couple of things, we also win.
He's still no match for Mr. Dragon.
Dragon Scythe, that kinda ruins that though. But it looks like we are going to stick these 2 followers and it's going to be enough to kill them, so worked out really nicely on our part. So our second match is against Rune. When you get Rune mirrors in any kind of shape or form, they're always interesting. Don't know whether Daria, Dirt, or what's going to go on here, but we'll have to wait and see. It's going to be a little bit of a surprise, I guess. So Dwarven Alchemist is reasonable still. I do like it in the early turns. I don't tend to use its evolve effect as often as I would like. It's only very occasionally that I go for that. But when I do, I like it to have some impact, so sometimes it's quite nice. They get a optimal Witch's Cauldron though, which shows me they are going for Dirt. Most likely Dirt straight off the bat. I mean, you're not going to run that in Daria very typically. And Luriel, so interesting, and much more aggressive. Maybe the Burn Rune? Lucky Gingerbread is a natural kill. And the Witch's Cauldron again from our opponent. I think we can trade with that pretty well.
Come gather round.
You're done for.
Figure out my tricks.
So they kind of stick to this to the board. They're not really doing too much to me, which is always good.
Holy magic is sin.
And Carl gets his drop off.
Gaze into the light.
You're done for.
Dwarven Alchemist, this is where I finally take their evolve. I mean, we're going to ram it into the 4-3 anyway.
Don't hold the applause. Come gather round.
So we may as well take this as our advantage. Chain Lightning though coming down to absolutely ruin my
It won't be
play.
long now.
And another evolve on Magic Illusion. It's really pushing that burn.
Tricks yet.
Luckily we should be able to counter that with this Professor of Taboos pretty quickly.
It won't be long now.
And maybe just throwing the evolve there because I want to completely remove these Magic Illusions. I don't want it coming back. Plus we do get the extra zombie, which is always nice. So 5-3 and 2-2s are pretty good. Of course the Dwarven Alchemist gets his drop off. So they finally get theirs out. Might be a little too late at this point though for them.
See you soon, my daughter.
Although they do go for Silent Laboratory. I actually go for 2 of them. So Master Mage Levi is actually quite good. I mean, we get to clear both of these pretty quickly.
The name's Levi.
And
Don't
we can just
forget.
send an extra 4 to face, so we actually get 7 damage on this turn alone. While setting up an Earth's Essence, which could work really well with the few cards we've got left.
The name's Levi. Don't
But they
forget.
do trade with their own Master Mage, pretty much clearing this out. Very, very close to clearing everything. But probably not quite enough.
I'll save my daughter.
So I decided to go wide. We're also going to be able to remove this 4-4 pretty easily anyway with the Professor and set up hopefully what we consider a lead.
Come in,
up.
six.
The name's Levi. Don't forget.
Levi coming down though. Crushing all hopes and dreams. Luckily that Luriel play is going to close it. Thanks to Mutagenic Bolt. If they hadn't have played that follower, they wouldn't have actually died that turn. I would have been forced to go into Grand Summoning, probably.
Unbelievable.
I'm really lucky they decided to extend into that
Looks
Luriel.
like Yuwan.
So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This deck is reasonably interesting. It had some pretty good games, honestly. I couldn't really fault how the games went overall. They were pretty nice. I mean, I probably could have played the deck slightly better with predicting some of my opponent's moves, but that comes with experience, so I'm sure if you play this deck some more, you would get the hang of exactly what you want to do against what. So hope you guys enjoy the video. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content, and check out the deck list in the description below. And I'll catch you guys next time. See ya.